I was fortunate enough to be offered a fellowship last year for one term, and I was already on research leave working on a project on bathing in the Middle Ages. And since I already had connections here with medievalists, I thought it would be interesting to come and work here for the term, little knowing quite how interesting and how formative it was going to turn out to be.
Am I right in thinking that being here actually changed the direction of your research?
Well, the fact that I was part of the Recovery of Beauty programme forced me to think very much about bathing in relation to beauty. It's what I gave my public lecture on, and I hadn't really thought about that very hard before, and so it did open up new areas of thinking and new angles. But also giving a seminar in the IAS, and in the cohort I was in, there was nobody else from the humanities. There were people from social science and science, so it was quite alarming speaking to people who weren't at all in my field, and they asked fascinating questions like, what kind of wood would bathtubs be made of, and how many gallons of water would it take to fill them, and where was it empty, which I hadn't really thought about. So being with people looking from a very different angle really did make me reconsider some of my assumptions or see new areas that I should explore, which I hadn't actually thought about before. So that was hugely valuable.
So it lit up areas of your own sphere which you probably hadn't previously considered.
Yes, and which I might not have bothered to reach. Yes.
And presumably therefore directed your research down new avenues.
Yes, I think it did, and I think that the piece that I've written for Insights about bathing and Christianity has been more clearly focused by my time here and the sorts of things I was thinking about and some of the questions I was asked, yes. I had long admired Durham. I've also been an external examiner in the English department here, and admire the Institute for Medieval and Renaissance Study. But the Institute Advanced Study Time allowed me to meet a lot more people in, for instance, the Centre for Medical Humanities, in other departments, and to see broader possibilities for interdisciplinary work, which was very appealing. I think it's very well supported in Durham, and this is, of course, a medieval city par excellence.
Can you tell me a little bit about your role now at the Principal of St Cuthbert's and how that indeed is causing you to engage further with the IAS?
Well, as you know, IAS fellows all live in colleges, which I think is absolutely crucial. I was familiar with the collegiate system because I went to Cambridge, to a single-sex women's college many years ago, and I also lived in a residential college at Yale. But I had forgotten till I came here and lived in Trevelyan for a term quite how wonderful colleges are and how much they add to the university experience. And I was also very impressed by the principal of Trevelyan and by the ethos of the whole college. I was actually contemplating applying for the principalship of my old college in Cambridge, but when I heard that there was a vacancy coming up here, I decided I'd rather be in Durham, given the general intellectual culture. So I already knew about colleges, but some of my IAS colleagues had no idea what a college was, really, and they were all bowled over by them, I think, and enjoyed them enormously. It's a hugely important part of the IAS experience.
Do you think then that college system that we have here at Durham plays an important part in the character of the university?
Absolutely, absolutely, no question about it at all. Yes, those as it were micro, well they're not very micro, but micro communities are hugely important in bonding people, absolutely, and offering lots of interdisciplinary opportunities, which of course is also what the IAS is all about. I mean, your department offers you lectures and teaching in your own area, but the colleges offer you a much broader range.